Am I good to start talking? So we see catapult is path to the void. So we see catapult. Okay. Good evening, fans. Today we're here with the top 8 race, Alastair versus lillyspikes. It should be an exciting and close one. We're currently seeing both runners run through the usual starting loot route of Pirates Cove, Tool Village, and Castle, and we should be seeing with the starting tablet a check at Cruiser Castle for our goodies sooner rather than later. We've got our first hint, and it let us know that the catapult was the path to the void, so at some point we are going to indeed need to go there. Our starting job appears to be Dragoon, so should be pretty decent HP wise. However, it'll take a little bit or the right abilities before we can go and find our power and start killing things a little on the faster. And it looks like we got level 5 Doom from the Silder check. Despite being in World 1, it's still a high tier loot check that can, in this case, give us level 5 Doom, and we get our second of the 5 Path to the Void hints that are in every seed. That one is slightly more on the ambiguous side because North Mountain has 2 checks. One of those is in World 3, and one of those is in World 1, available at the start, nice and easy. If it's in World 3, we'll be looking for the Mirage Radar, which allows us access to get the Black Chocobo so we can fly to the North Mountain in World 3 and check the Bahamut bot fight. In addition to allowing access to the potentially required Bahamut check, the Mirage Radar gives us 8 of some of the best shops and 2 of the gated 5 hints. The other 3 will be gated behind the trench page. So if we still aren't certain where we need to go, the Mirage Radar might help guide us. Pyramid page in World 1, always good information to have, but currently doesn't tell us much, and we get our first visit to Kuzer Castle, so we should be able to grab 3 hopefully high-tier abilities or items to allow us to really start bearing through the seed. Summon 4. Time 5. Lamp is good, it allows us to use Odin even if we don't find it, which can be helpful for a couple bosses, or remove one of the final parts of Neo X Death, our final boss. Looking at this, I could definitely see a summon 4, white 6, and the lamp. Time 5 is very good, allows haste 2, but for the early game, it does not provide us any offense yet. And we see Alastair grabbing Summon 4, Time 5, and the Enhancer. So if we found the Mystic Knight job, the Knight job, Freelancer, I think Blue Mage, all of those will be able to use the Enhancer as something to hit people with. Or if we find the Equipped Swords ability. Level 3 Flare can be helpful if we get Blue Magic. One of the fights that you could use it is the required Castle X Death fight, which we need the Anti-Barrier and Bracelet to get, and will allow us access to World 3. That boss is level 66, so it is divisible by 3, and so you can just start off and level 3 Flare it. Looks like Lily has found something to start dealing with a couple fights, and Alastair is still looking for a little bit more, so is checking the Chicken Knife or Brave Blade check. 2 high-tier items, potentially, however, you can only get 1 of these. So a lot of people will save and reset to try and figure out which one is the best one to help them through the seed. Quick is very nice spell. It is costly, however, and without time 6 and some other uses, it can be tricky. Necrophobia at this spot is not what you want to find. Very likely we will be having to go and look for a different fight. North Mountain holds the Adamantite. That might be telling us what the required item at North Mountain is, or it might just be telling us what one of 2 items at North Mountain is that we have to figure out which one is actually important. Bard for Alastair in shops, that allows access to Sing, which is one of the 2 major ways of boosting levels for easy AoE kills of the final boss. Bard plus Hero Song or Mix. And some softs in case we run into, say, Shote. If you chose not to get Summon 4, you can in fact find Summoner, which allows for all of the uses of Summon, even up to 5. Quick reconfiguration to go and get Rama allows us to clear the barriers before they murder us, so now we just need to do about 250 more damage and should be good. However, looks like because we swapped it later, we don't have enough MP for any more casts of Rama, so we need to go and get 2 of the Jitterbug duets, or potentially a couple sword stances if our weapons aren't great. And with that, Lily gets through the Wind Shrine and should potentially see our first key item outside of the starting tablet. Equipped katanas. That is not a key item, however, there are a couple quick strong katanas. That plus the dancer job, if we can get one of those and a piece of dancer gear, red shoes, rainbow dress, or Lamia's tiara, that will allow for some pretty decent physical damage half the time. Now we see Alastair running into Necrophobia. Also has Rama, and I believe has the ability for all of the members to cast it. We found Odin in the Wind Shrine, which is a very good summon, castable with Summon 4. Any boss that is not heavy can be insta-killed by it, otherwise it'll just do some pretty significant damage. And it looks like Alastair has also, in his extra shopping, found Chemist, which after this fight should give everyone Mixed, which is very, very strong. It starts to give us ideas for how we're going to finish the final fight, and can be used to help increase our power and speed up some of these earlier fights. So we find Comet and Titan. Let's see. I do think actually did pick up Titan. Brawl, if we get Kaiser Knuckles in a dancer gear, is another method to allow for the dancer to hit really hard. Although that one's a little more level dependent. Titan isn't one of the strongest AoE summons, but if we're running into an AoE boss, should prove more useful than, in many cases, Odin or Rama. And yeah, as Naki says, it's good early game. These early fights don't even have 1,000, and you can hit that with Titan, and it's a little cheaper than Odin. Because it looks like I think we're 1 short of casting Odin with Lena. We'll see if Alastair also ends up picking up Comet or Titan. Picks up Comet, tries to pick up Titan, but doesn't quite have the money. The other thing I see in there is Stop. There is a couple bosses susceptible to that it can just really save your team if you end up having it. And then Requiem, if we run, there's only 2 bosses that Requiem really does good work with, but if you have it, you have it. The golem fight has the objective of just defeating the 2 undead dragons attacking the golem. So Requiem, which deals damage to undead, is strong for that. And then there's the triplets fight. I missed what the reward was, but we should be seeing it on Alastair's side. Leap Sword, if we get Magic Blade, that is very useful against a couple bosses. Atmos, which as is on our screen, so will not be useful for that, but could also be useful for the Stalker's fight, which is one of the more tricky and annoying fights. And Arcuavis, not when we're MP dependent and don't quite have that much. Arcuavis is a tricky one to run into, and we'll probably be relying on Jitterbug duets to chip away at its 5 phases of health. Pyramid page. There we go. So that pyramid page is hinted in World 1, has already come to fruition, and we now have it. Phases 2 and 4 of Arcuavis, which the first 4 phases have invisible swaps. This is what the cutscene pops up after phase 4, but phases 2 and 4 are non-heavy bosses, so Odin will true edge and insta-kill them. At this point, Odin would also just do enough damage to move to the next phase anyways. We really just need one more Jitterbug duet to finish the fight. And we get Drain Sword magic. Can be alright if in a long fight, but in many cases with Magic Sword, there's stronger offensive ones, which will allow you to, at least in this flag set, deal with most bosses you find. And we see Kaiser Knuckles. That is the second, cost 15,000, but that's the second piece of the Punching Dancer puzzle. With that, the Brawl that Lily has, if we just get a piece of Dancer gear, we can start seeing some numbers really go up. And we see Alastair hitting Fate 5 of the Arcade, using Chocobo Kick. A little bit of extra money. That'll help us out. And we have Lily heading to North Mountain. This has a pretty much 50% chance of just giving us the adamantite, and also pretty much a 50% chance of being required. And even if we get nothing, then we at least know that we need to go and find the Mirage Radar. Maiden's Kisses will help us with Halicarnassus if he pops up anywhere, and those eye drops can be used in a couple mixes as well as Curing Blind. Though I think Gilgamesh 4 is the only major boss left that blind. We see Sandworm, which can prove annoying. I know that tier 4 and above the AoE, Sildra, Leviathan, Bahamut, none of those trigger the demi counters. However, I can't quite remember if Titan still does. But we see Lily mostly prioritizing Dance to try and, I believe still in this case, want the Jitterbug duets. And we find Exploder. That plus Blue Magic allows us, if Apocalypse pops up, to sacrifice a party member to cause the boss to use a script where it will then learn Exploder and decide to test it out, which allows for some pretty fast fights even at high HP locations to find Apocalypse. Yeah. That must not be time, or we'd probably be using common strat. Yep, so even those lower level summon trigger a counter. So that's probably the fastest way through this fight with what these parties have set up. And that is the hinted adamantite for Alastair. Is it required? Quite possibly, but we'll have to go and do it before we can find that out. And there we also see Lily getting through to acquire the adamantite. Looks like Lily is pursuing the catapult path to the void hints we acquired, where as Alastair is starting some of the meteor checks, which is a good source of early XP and pretty efficient checks to get through. Unfortunately, we find stalkers, which can be a very annoying fight. Because after the first hit, the correct target and only one you're allowed to hit will randomly swap amongst the 4 spots, so you have to go and find the target. And then when you hit it, it will swap again. You might think to use AoE attacks to you hit it. However, when you do that, all 3 of the other parts end up countering with Blaze, even if you ended up finishing the fight, which can really do some damage. But looks like Alastair is through the fight and just wait for it to fade away. Lily finds Odin, non-heavy boss. Odin does the job. So we know Lily's spot is required, and we get the falls page from Alastair. And it is the 4th tablet, so very required. X Zone and Float. X Zone does pretty much the same thing as it's a insta-kill attack for non-heavy bosses, and Float can be pretty useful for a couple fights. We also find Antidotes, which is one of the 2 mix ingredients for boosting levels, along with Vitality Song, which is regen for the entire party. And some tents, which, if you haven't found them already, tents are always good. And we have Alastair heading into... should be getting a hint, maybe a little loot. Whereas Lily is heading for second visit to Kuzer. Probably you'll get time 5, and then either some high money item, couple items that might prove to add some power, like the Rune Axe, or defense like the Flame Ring, which also sells for a lot of money if you don't need it. So Lily checks out Ruger, gets their meat, and I believe Toad, and then gets the hint that that pyramid page we got is path. Since the pyramid page is in World 4 or 3, it's a World 3 check, we know that that must be on the path to one of our last 2 tablets. Alastair finds Go-Go, very strong source of AP points. However, you have to be able to insta-kill it, or you're going to be waiting for a nice, lovely 3 minutes. And I think that was like exact lethal. So, nicely done. Equip swords and the submarine key, which that gates a lot of checks. Oh, we have a Berserker, so with that Rune Axe, we're just missing either or a Giant's Glove to be able to underflow the magic stat of the Berserker for some damage. On the downside, we have Berserker who isn't likely to do 1500, so we definitely have to either eliminate the Berserker or deal with Go-Go fast. We also saw Lily decided to fight Ooh, no MP on that one. There's MP. Just need to hit 1500. Good enough. So that'll be the submarine key for Lily. Alastair, with the full kind of magic setup that he has, ran into Minotauros and immediately left to try and find a different boss to fight. And now we see Lily going and doing looting and hint checking for Walt's Kingdom. Tyrannosaurus. There's an easier fight. It's non-heavy, so you can Odin it. It's a non-heavy undead, so you also have the attempt to use a Phoenix Down to murder it. So the hint was Shrine Page is in World 2. Not necessarily the best hint yet, but we'll see if it proves required. And we get the Mirage Radar from Alastair, which that's the other part. If the Adamant proves to not have what we need, that's where we need to go. Death Song is another form of kind of insta-kill-esque ability for non-heavy bosses. It goes and paralyzes them and sets their HP. We see some hero potions with that's unlikely to get some use. However, any other way of boosting levels, drink plus hero potions is a valid method. Just barely kills, and that was the person who had the attack queued up. So we get the hint that the Shrine Page that's somewhere in World 2 will simply chain us to the steamship key, which is a pair of checks, and opens up the last World 1 shop, which could hold something important like Revivifies if we found those. Torna Canal with Path the Void, which that was the Pyramid Page, which we already knew was hinted Path the Void, so that is an unfortunate hint that tells us nothing. Lily gets through the Stalkers fight. Nicely done, and with that, gets the Falls Page. And it looks like Alastair is checking some of the last World 1 shops, and then, based on areas, going to be heading to the Catapult, where he'll be getting Tablet 4 as well. Let's see how the fight goes. We need to get a better weapon for the dancers. Not quite enough damage to chew through before the big physical hits and counterattacks break us down, so we'll be back. Or we won't. Yeah. Currently we have the runners just sort of finishing up those early World 1 checks that the other runners. Ooh. The insta-kill missed, and missed again for Lily, however, should be enough damage. So that'll be the Mirage Radar for Lily, and Tablet 4 for Alastair. And after shopping here, I expect Alastair to probably go and do Lanka Meteor check, and then might either chase the Adamantite, see if it's needed, or start doing a couple of the World 2 checks. And we see Alastair checking the Black Chocobo. I believe this is something Lily in the early looting. I missed if it gave anything useful, but items are items, and abilities could always be good. And we see Alastair heading up to the Soul Cannon spot, which, if we had blue, would be very happy to go and use Exploder, because this is 12,000 points, so it's going to be a little with some high defenses, so a little bit before we can push through. If we had Bio or some Venom Rods, Apocalypse, I believe, is weak to poison, so that is a method we could use. And putting up some nice carbuncle to prevent what looks like it could have been an AoE level 2 ult, which would have really proven difficult. Lanka Meteor's just Gilgamesh 1. We get to kill it with Odin, which is nice because it gives us an elixir that way. However, just is a Warhammer. Looks like Alastair's a little lower on MP, but ooh. I hope I didn't miss a big guard, because that would be... No, those damage numbers look like big guard got triggered. So we need to we need to finish the fight fast. We don't see any boosted defenses or quite yet, because instead of Dark Shock, Lily got hit with Mind Blast, so should be able to, I think, push through the fight. Alastair's able to get those last bit of damage, and yep, fight's done. Second in, first out for Lily. Nicely done. So this could be one of an important item. It could be Magic Sword level 5. That allows for the elemental tier 3 Magic Swords, or along with Break Blade from tier 4. So those can prove in handy for a couple different fights. Ooh. And there's level 2 old, which will start reducing. Definitely needs to finish the fight. And there we go. On the upside, we do have level 5 Doom, Shock, and level 2 old on Alastair's side, so that, if we get blue, could be handy. And nothing so far loot-wise has sparked too much joy, but money is money and it can be needed. Yeah, this is a very close match so far. I believe about the exact same fights. Alastair done a little more looting or shopping somewhere, and Lily has done the long meteor, but that's a very fast free fight. And we find French Vanilla Soul Cannon. It decided to retreat inside the castle, scared of our lightning capabilities and Odin's, but should prove to be no threat. And we do have Holy. That plus the white level 6 will allow us some good damage against Castle X Death once we get that point. We're still missing both the anti-barrier or we can progress through Castle X Death to achieve World 3. But last chance, and no, we know that the Bahamut spot is. We know that the pyramid page is needed. We have the submarine key, so if people have been checking hints closely, then that should mean that once we get the anti-barrier and bracelet, we can be completely done with World 2. We don't have to do any tasks. We can just move on over to those last 2 spots. And however long the chain ends up being. Flame Whip War does sell for 10,000 gold, or can be an alright weapon if we're still missing those. Couple cabins will never hurt anyone. There's drink for the hero potions if we don't find chemist for Lily, and some fire rods. There's a couple bosses where that might just be one of our better sources of damage. So overall, pretty decent set of shops. Looks like Alastair is heading back into the catapult to rest in the bed? So looks like Alastair might not have enough tents or any tents at this point. big hints Lily will be looking for is where is the bracelet? And we find the chemist that Alastair's been running with a lot of. And Alastair also gets the true edge kill. So both runners have mixed, both runners have a set of they know where some amount of AoE damage is with, say, Titan. You're not happy if that's what you have to do, but it can work. And we see Lily heading to Bow Castle. It's the easiest spot at only, I think, 2,500 hit points, so shouldn't be too much, although we're low on MP again. But as long as there's enough MP, so that'll be the fight for Lily. I was gonna say, as long as the Berserker stays alive, to go. One thing that we could do, that Lily could do while we're missing the piece to underflow the Berserker, is could give Summon 4 to the Berserker to boost its magic stat. It's not quite underflowing it from 4 to negative to 254, but it can provide a sizable boost in damage. Second tablet is in World 3, so that means it's likely at least one of the Pyramid or Mirage Radar checks path us back. $2,200, just shy. And we see a stay at I have not seen people use that before, but Lily gets a full heal and 8 potions, along with finding one of the which can really help boost your agility in the final. And let's see what the hint here is. Third tablet is also in World 3. So there could be, yes, there could be a chain, but whatever amount of chain there is, we'll finish it with a World 3 location for the two of them. Unless I've missed it, both runners are revivifies if they want to mix up levels. Which, with the shops and everything that there could mean that revivifies are locked. The secret shop that unlocks when you could complete the Karnic escape sequence. Both runners get the hint and then continue down. Has some decent abilities, equip axes, equip bows, get your Zerkers ready. Mystic Knight Crystal, that one could be good. And we'll see who's here. I believe it's 1,500 hit points, so if you get it, if it's insta-killable, that's nice, but if not, push through it no problem at this point. Dependent on the boss. There's a couple bosses could be a little on the ruder side still. Like, despite using Odin and whatnot, I don't think these runners want to run into just because of the innate shell. Why do I talk? Lily resets immediately out of Omni because we have the Berserker that will go and trigger just a reset. No way to burn it down in time. So it was deciding to go and get a Chemist. And we might also have Mute Sword, so with the Mystic Knight, we'll be able to guarantee us get, albeit it might not be the fastest. And we also see Alastair setting up Mute Blade with Knight. At the rate these Gunniers are going, we only need about 10 more of them. Which, that's the big reason why I don't. If we had Dispel, we'd be able to get rid of the shell, which would double our damage pretty much. Without that, or I guess the Staff of Judgment plus Mute Blade, just chipping away. If we had the Stop and Time Mage, if one thing we could have done if we wanted to use the Berserker's power is stop the Berserker until we get the Mute, and then once Mute is applied on Omni, just let him loose. But a little bit of regen, and yeah, biggest worry is just running low on energy, having our damage get low. And Alastair is the first runner to get through, however Lily should be following right after, and are we... Nothing! After this, I'd probably expect... We only have, I think, actually about Moogle Waterway and the Minotauros at the Waltz Meteor that both runners have faded, and we see Alastair heading back to that. at least one of those three is going to lead to the anti-barrier. Anti-barrier itself could give us the bracelet, but we just need both of those. And we see Lily getting through, so we'll have to see where she goes after that. Back to World 2, so probably Moogle Waterway. Something was for sale here that Lily wants. And we get the hero call. Importance undecided. And we see Alastair taking second trip back to Kusa now. Should be able to pick up whatever important things was left behind at this point. Looks like we're getting some white shirts to boost our magic on Lily's side. There's that rune axe that Lily's been using. And after this, now we have to see where Lily goes. And both runners are doing Moogle Waterway. With how close these runners are, it should just come down to execute. And whether the runners do notice that they should be Exdeath's Castle access and can just kind of waltz their way through. Magasa, non-heavy, Odin, and gone. There's the anti-barrier. So I would expect to see both runners potentially head over and check it about immediately. All three of the remaining checks are here for Alastair. Hero Call, Sunk Barrier Tower, and the Anti-Barrier. Looks like we're first doing the Hero Call for Alastair. So, bit of a cutscene with a flurry heal. One required just Goblin, and then will be about 20,000, a little more than that, or maybe hit points to get through. And we see Lily going and checking the Brave Blade knife checks, and also looks like we're just going with the second one. Yes, so the run speed in Final Fantasy V, there was it would allow us to go and kind of just get this dash. Basically, a kind of quality of life in the randomizer is it just allows you to use the dash even if you don't have it. In some versions of the game, the dashing was, I believe the GBA version, the dashing was kind of was in the base setup. So when you go and add the Thief's Dash, you get a super dash, and it's very, very fast and uncontrollable. Gilgamesh 2, very annoying fight. Once you hit it slightly past 50%, he'll haste, shell, protect, and just start jumping and overall being annoying now that your damage has been halved. If you can get a mute time a mute on him before that happens, and once you've kind of hit this phase, he'll just retreat from the fight. No XP will be acquired. So we see some jobs shuffling around for Lily. Might be working on mastering Summoner in case we get Leviathan, and let's say Freelancer or Mimics get Summoner stats and summon 5. And we see Alastair is through the fight, and the hero call leads to the Walls Tower. So the question is, do you continue fighting the checks right nearby, or do you continue following the chain from... And looks like Lily is, well, one, doesn't have the hero call, heading straight to the anti-barrier check, and Alastair is also doing it well. We find a crystal shield, which is a little bit better than the cursed shield Lily's been using. Ooh, sink. And there's Antlion. Is vulnerable to sleep, which will allow you to be able to get the XP and anything. We missed the sleep proc, so reapplying it. We see Alastair's through, and there's the bracelet. That should put Alastair in go mode. We'll see how he continues on. And there's the bracelet for Lily. So Alastair's heading up, we'll see. And Lily also, I believe, will be heading up. As long as we have a method of getting through next, good to go. Based on the mandibles, I'd say antlion, lion-sized ant than an ant's. Some money. successfully navigates the moving bridge, gets both chests, and continues on. Nicely done. Even if you've done it a lot, you can still always just make a slight mistake and trigger a fight. Alrighty. Moment of truth. Does Alastair know? White wins a decent find. Setting up white, looks like we're getting... I think Alastair is heading straight to... You could consider, I guess, fighting Leviathan or Sildra for a better finish, but with the Mirage Radar in hand, that feels like kind of a tough ask. But we see Lily heading over and doing the carbuncle spot. We'll see if this is just as a free wanting to... There's something Lily's looking for. And we see Castle X Death on Alice. Halicarnassus with a summon-based damage is not what you want to find. And with that, Holy Alastair finishes Castle X Death and gets... So we'll see what lies in the Mirage Radar's shops most likely next. Drain Sword to keep up the HP. Holy as our other source of damage. Then we'll have to see if there's a good reward from the Halicarnassus. Looks like Alastair is resetting up the party. Could wait until you find out what you find. You never know. Heads up straight to Mirage Radar. And Halicarnassus is fine. Let's see if there is a worth reward. Love Song, Fire 3 Life. Golem is the big find in here. Ribbon. A ribbon could be helpful in the end, but I don't think it'll quite save the amount of time. Dragon Fangs, that's a big find. I don't believe we found Revivifies, so those Dragon Fangs do allow us to set up level mix anyways. need about 12 Dragon Fangs for the final fight for +6 and about 12 potions as well. Bahamut, there's our AoE damage that we want. Bit of an upgrade for Titan. It's not Leviathan, but it's not Sildra, but it can do. With no Fire 3 Blade or Break, could take a bit of time. We also don't have X Zone. Could take Big Guard. At this point, you are heading through the pyramid. There's a decent chance Blue could be in the void. And let's see who's waiting at one of our last 2 chains. The lower accuracy of swords as a started to cost a decent amount of misses, so we're pivoting to using lamp. Do a little bit larger damage. The True Edge guarantee would guarantee a kill, but with the amount of AoE damage we've already done, I don't think that's needed. And then the Bahamut spot is... Ooh. I hope you have your softs. Sing with Love Song would probably be one of the best things we could find. The ribbon Lily had on a dancer could also be very good. That's a fight you want to go and time stops on and only do damage when you've just stopped the boss. And seeing that boss, Alastair immediately leaves, and I believe... Or there's a... Or... Actually, it looks like is remembering... Just some crystal armor for the Shiva. So, with the show giving a little bit of a quick issue for Alastair, Lily is kind of simply just behind Castle Xdef and Raj. If Lily is able to quickly get through the show, that could catch up. The Doctor shows up, free fight, goes away, and we get access to the pyramid. probably will want to do a bit of looting to get the money. Dragon, as I don't think we ever revised Dragon. And the other thing is, if we don't have yes, we can boost levels, but we cannot go and provide white hole immunity outside of any ribbons or Aegis shields we find in our travels. But we see the same strat for Lily on Castle X Death. Just use a lot of holies. At this point, one item I don't think White want to find is the it just adds this chance, not guaranteed, but it means fork could be what's needed at that point. First monster in the box summons Odin. Does not true edge. And there's the true edge. Love Song picked up. Just to defend her from that trap. If we have Sing on Lily's side, that love very good for show. Because I believe it's guaranteed stop as opposed to the simply chance of stop you get with stop spell. I know Bard was for sale. I think it was in World 2, but I can't remember exact details. 3 Dragon Fang, that's 5,000 gold. Another enhancer. Man-Eater, if we haven't found one, if we want to keep available. Rainbow Dress, that is the item of we are looking for. That plus ribbon allows for a strong dancer, cannot get stopped or anything, or stoned or anything. Yoichibo, choosing to take the fall now. Breakblade is also a good find. Gil Toss, so we definitely do need money. And Anti-Barrier, which we knew, and Karnak. Yeah, Anti-Barrier hint. We're in World 3. We know. Mirage Radar hint in Mirage Radar. We know. Gold Hairpin, that'll allow for some cheaper. So if we are still having some MP issues, that's a good find. Now, do we have stuff to sell at this point? That's the big reason to loot Pyramid, especially with Guild Toss. With that looted Guild Toss, any sort of summon strats not needed. Throw money. Running shoes, that's big find. Give it to whoever's hasting your party. Otherwise, give it to whoever you need to go first. And it's Biblos! Hello, Odin. Goodbye, Biblos. Show us Tablet 3. Very free, very fast pyramid potential does add quite some time to the pyramid track. But with the running shoes as a payoff, that's pretty good. And there's Tablet 3, so Alastair just needs to find a way through. Pile of softs. Buys Summoner. There's the Bard. Is not buying Bard, so has a different idea than Love Summoner. Back to Mirage Town to reacquire the Dance, equip sword, rainbow dress. We've got a couple monks for the HP, and then time. Time just cares about summon and summon in white. Monks with time and running shoes to make sure that prefers flame shield to the crystal shields. Immediately rather than waiting is going for just another run through. Only 2 Phoenix Downs left for Lily at the moment, so we'll have to be careful about using the This should be the running shoes, and then we'll see leaves from here on out, or if does the last bits of looting still. Just running through the poison, we'll just antidote up. Cabins 4 remaining. Alrighty, let's see how this strat goes. You gotta time the attacks with the stops. Stop is hit every time. Also, there's Drain. There's a stop. There's a dance. Only 10 more dances to go. There's a dance stop. There's an Odin. 75. Missed stop. Have to parry. Nope. There's the stone. Might consider working on hasting the party. Another stop. Drains, which really do hurt at the spot. Continuing to dance. Keep it stopped. And all you have to do is keep this balance, keep the party's HP alive, and should get through the fight. Okay, so stop's accuracy's been a little higher than I. That's good. Also, when we're using stop strats for the boss at the Bahamut spot. And that's the fight for Alastair. Gets a shout. Samurai if we didn't have Guild Toss. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fork is required. Because we know the last tablet is in... Actually, no. Fork might not be required. We don't have the shrine page. Think about a 50-50 of one of these spots, and shrine leads to, I think, might lead to trench if I remember right, so there's a possibility that more forest just gives us a different page and we just have to chain that until it ends. But if we don't get something from World 3, it might be Fork. And we get to see which boss has way too many hit points, but not that much attack. Insta-killable! My favorite. Alright, let's see here. And we get... Big Bridge Key. Options. Do you chase that? Do you go to Forks Double? It looks like we're choosing the double world 3 checks of Fork as opposed to the big bridge potential chain. Alright, ability shuffling done, and Alastair's ready for Fork Tower. Bone mail, that could actually end up being important. Brave Blade, there we go. One of the stronger, albeit inaccurate. Leviathan, that's... Coral Ring would be nice about now. Ooh. I think you might need to be throwing Gil. Slightly more, but maybe not enough to justify. And the chance at crits can be helpful. Ooh. I hope we have some high potion. Good dodge, good dodge. Good crit. Now we're both paralyzed. There's another Aqua Rake. Need healing before another Aqua Rake. Alastair. Now we know the first spot is Leviathan. We can... I think we might have Bolt 3 Blade and can go Mystic Knights. Or we're going Dancer for the, just bigger damage. Dancer plus Brave Blade should do some substantial damage to get through. Leviathan just need to get a couple sword stances. Fork. Round 2. Fight. Yeah, Fire Ring is not quite going to cut it. Get the summon going. Alrighty. It's time for round 2. Ooh, that's a big hit. Good sword stance, good sword stance. Alright, it's up to the Dancer. No, no. There goes Lena. Second sword stance, just need one more. And we didn't get a golem, so we get punched hard. Time for either round 3 or a different idea. So yeah, readjust, get set up again, and looks like Alastair is committed to. Yeah, it's either Fork Tower or I think Shrine Page, which I think the Shrine Page also has the Trench Page. So odds are technically Fork I think is a 2-to-1 odd. 2 checks versus Trench is 1, but hard to say, especially when Fork's been giving some trouble. Okay, looks like instead of dance strats, we're going. And then we gave White 6 so we can heal up us with the golem. Rather than going for time, we should be good to go. So this one should get through. Close enough, the Odin should kill, which means tidal wave. And that's check 1 done. Is this tablet 2? Leviathan and Trench Page. So undetermined. I couldn't quite remember if Trench Page was. And a free second one gives us Sandworm Bait. That should not be required. Yeah, that one can't possibly be required. So it's either Trench or Shrine. Looks like Alastair. There we go. Alastair is just taking a quick stretch break, and we're on our way to Trench. So continuing with the fork chain. Califisteri, Artemis Bow or Beast Killer would be nice, otherwise you need Blade to stop it from doing stuff and find a way to hit it hard. Okay, and actually, I quick looked at Lily's stream because she has the hints written down. Shrine is in World 2, but it has the steamship key, so it can't be required, which means it had to have been the fork chain. So, Trench page will have the So, a couple final good high-tier shops. I mean, I think the only thing the Alastair would kind of want or need for the final fight, Aegis shields would be the #1 find. Aegis shields or ribbons. Because I don't think we found Revivifies. There's Hero Song. And we find it's the crystal. They can punch really hard. However, if we can get an Odin, that'll get through. One thing we could do is we have the magic. Okay. So we're setting up a Odin or a Golem, and then keep on using Odin until we get true A. We don't trigger any of the AoE damage. And we're back, and this time with Lily. Let's see. Lily's gotten. Let me quick check what Lily has acquired. Um, so the Guardians are giving some trouble. The most guaranteed solution, and works even better because we're in French, grab the magic lamp. The third one will be a guaranteed true edge to get through the fight, and then should be able to just walk back and refresh it on your way out. Okay, and that should lootless. And there we go for Alastair getting through finally. That's the last tablet for him. Lily still needs to get the heads to the Bahamut check and follow the chain that lies from. Yeah. This is... So, just some final preparations. I believe Alastair should be selling enough for 145,000 for the final fight, and then also enough money to buy Dragon Fangs, because I just don't think I've seen the revivifies needed. There's also the possibility we got Hero Song and it'll just thing our levels up instead. Checking other shops. And there's Revivifies, Antidotes, and Phoenix Down. A Mixer's Dream. We just get the Revivify, so it sounds like we have what we need for the rest. Yes. There's the hinted steamship key, and now World 3-wise, all that's left available. Bahamut check. But we'll be chasing that over. Haste 2, that's good. Allows us quicker haste setup as opposed to haste 1 every one. And that seems to be the last thing Alastair was worried about, because he did not loot the chest after that. And looking at the key item counts, there is no key items at all from the steamship key check. Excalibur, don't think there's anything that'll help us with. Rune Axe. Wait, sweet. Mare Brain can just Odin or showed it. First fight down. There's been a couple tough fights that Alastair's had a couple wipes, so we'll see how aggressive he ends up playing the. and we'll also see if Lily ends up doing any looting. Nope, it's just running through. This boss would be insta-killable with level 5 Doom, but no blue magic, so best bet is either Big Dances or Bolt 3 Spellblade. Or Bolt 3. Yeah, we have a Black Mage, super strong Black Mage setup, it looks like. There's Mimic, that's a very useful ability, allows quicker and cheaper setups for with Mix, but where's Lily go from? Crayclaw is stoneable, if I recall. Also is weak to lightning, so could continue with that strat. And there we go, Lily is on the path now. Heal spot down. Should be just 3 more to go, as long as we have everything. Gargoyles, AoE, at this spot I think some AoE damage is possibly the best bet. Could also, yeah, could go for Shotes, but 3 HP. And we'll see how Lily deals with Shote now. And there we go. Through the gargoyles, just 2 more fights remain. We have, and Lily's setting up Bard strats with running shoes, so double Bard, good to go. If you grab the Apollo Harp from the Hoosier Castle, then you would be able to go and also use that for some good damage on Shote as a dragon, but otherwise, dance is with this fight. Just need to wait for a couple hits and then insta-kill it. We're good. Able to be insta-killed. Break, and we're done. Love song with love song in hand. Alastair heading back to save and then and heal up. Okay, we do have antidote. We probably have Phoenix Downs then as well, so are good to go. Twintania at Twintania. Same thing as Carbuncle. Wait until it swaps phases, and then we can use an insta-kill to chew through the 50,000. Final fight's done for Alastair, so just needs to finish any final preparations and get set for the final boss. Yep. Get to level 100. Mix up your level. Mix up your levels. Get to 100. Throw money. Nice, simple, fairly safe fight. Shouldn't have any problems with Alastair. Even skipping the chess, which, fair, we have everything we need for a fight. So, the way the final fight's going to go is, first we have to go and set up protection from White Hole so it doesn't insta-kill and stone members of our party. Next step is then get our levels up, and then the third step is simply murder. Ooh, we have a wall ring. We have a wall ring. No. When switching up the classes, it decided for whatever reason, as players, running shoes, great. The game, nah, you want a wall ring. One more final run through and then should be good to go. And Lily is ending up following the right choice at this point and heading to 4. The only thing that can make the final setup quicker is Mimic, so you don't have to menu all of the mixes. Dragon Fangs, so you can go and use those as opposed to the Antidote or Vivify. And then just more people who are immune, which Bone Mail is one way, Aegis Shield is another. To White Hole, the less you have to mix the Life Shield, so you can just get right on going. Another thing you can do is try and slow down the 3x death, because you can be slowed, and that'll make him take less actions while you're getting set up. And here we go, Leviathan. Setting up regen. Damn. Summon Golem. That'll protect us from the physical. Well, we have a lot of high potions, so and heal up from whenever we see bad stuff. Like double Aqua Ring. So as long as the golem stays up and is reapplied whenever it falls, should be a fairly safe fight for Lily. And look, like we just finished mixing up levels, waited for an action, not quite quad 9s, but should be good enough. And we gets an action, but it's just flare as opposed to something meaner, such as, well, I mean, it did kill, but it would have been medium. Three people set up, I think we'll pivot to say with certainty, and so it should just And now we hold A. 9,000. Close enough. 2, 3, 4. We have Golem, we have shields. 5. This next one should prevent the Almagest from coming off. And this last one should finish. Might need one more. Nope. GG's. With that, Alastair finishes with a time of 2:20.28. Nicely done. That seed definitely had some. And with that, it looks like we're joined here, our winner tonight of Alastair.
Yep.
How are you feeling?
Honestly, I thought that seed was kind of butt.
Yeah, some of the seeds do be that way.
Yep.
At least you can say the hints. Some of them.
Yeah, the hints were good. Yeah, so early Odin though was really nice.
Yeah, I noticed you used Odin primary damage for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, the game gives it to you, might as well use it.
Yep. So, what were your thoughts going through the seed, like early with the Kuzer and rewards, and then a little later?
God, it's all kind of become a blur in my memory now, but I guess honestly getting summoned 4 early was good. I also picked up time, because time's just useful all around.
Yeah.
Then, on the second trip I grabbed White 6, which was good because I had Holy to spam on X Death.
When did you realize that you were simply Castle X Death access?
Pretty much as soon as I got that bracelet from Greg 1. It's like I realized, oh, I can just go straight up. And just dodge every boss.
Yeah. It did not mean that the remaining... I guess some of them were easy, but the ones that were difficult were difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I was honestly hoping that was just going to be straight up the tablet on North Mountain. Instead, got the whole long chain to go up to Fork.
Yeah. Here's the branch. Oh, no. Big bridge key. Did you ever consider trying to see if the big bridge key gave, like, the trench page and you could skip Fork, or did you just...
Was a thought, but I decided Fork was honestly probably just better odds.
Yeah. 2 versus 1 is still better. And then the 2 had the 1.
So I was actually expecting to get the tablet in Fork, but no, the chain just kept going.
Yep.
Like, that's why I ended up checking the hints in the trench, because I just wanted to be absolutely certain I was on the right track. And didn't miss something.
Got it. So that's what the pause post fork was.
Well, also, well, the pause post fork was also I just really needed to use the bathroom.
Yeah, long seeds will do that. And then once you were in go mode, how worried were you starting to get?
I was constantly looking over at the race time, like, is she gonna finish soon? So, yeah. But I end up winning, so.
A win is a win. That's all you can hope for, is if you have difficulties, you can hope that you're either able to make up time in other ways, the opponent also ends up difficulties, because a tough seed's a tough seed.
Yeah. But anyways, I actually need to go get some dinner. But GG's, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for being in part of the tournament and putting on a show. GG's on your win.
And thanks Speedgaming for hosting us.
I hope you have a wonderful night or dinner or whatever else you have.
Yeah, thank you. Alright. Bye now.
Okay. So that was Alastair, our winner, and we should be joined shortly. Who has elected not to quite finish the seed, but did very good job throughout. And with that, we should be joined by Lily. GG's.
What a mess. I totally bombed those hints.
Give me a sec. That was a little quiet. GG, what'd you say?
Sorry about that. Yeah. Whenever I plug in this capture card, it decides to reset my microphone's volume.
How did you feel about the seed throughout?
The seed was fun, even though it looked like a pretty deep route for the final tablet. I made it to Fork, and I don't know where it went after that.
Trench Page was the last step of it.
Okay.
Which had Crystal Guardians as the final gated boss.
And they have very high magic defense there, so Odin is really tough to land.
Yeah, pretty much. It took Alastair a couple tries to get the.
I had a magic lamp prepared, so I would have just used that just to guarantee a kill.
Yeah. And if you hit go mode, were you feeling prepared for the final boss?
I felt prepared. I had enough money. I had the tools necessary. Mix. I found Revivifies.
Okay, so you did find the Revivifies in their hidden shop.
Yeah. I specifically went hunting for him because I didn't find him anywhere else.
Oh, right, and you also did do Steamship key, so you knew you had access to every shop. Um, do you have any other thoughts in regards to, like, the tournament?
I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the matches.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. Throughout the seed, you guys both got the bracelet at pretty much the same time. It was very close for a while. Then just a little bit of hint logic here led to that was the main difference.
Yeah. What it was is I forgot the North Mountain hint.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about Bahamut. Because that would have led me on the right path, so I kept on trying to do Otherworld 3 things, knowing that the last tablet was there, but kept forgetting about Bahamut.
That happens to us at some point. But yeah, it was a lot of fun watching the race throughout, and I hope you end up having a wonderful day.
Thanks for hosting.
Yeah, thank you, Speedgaming, for hosting this throughout. It was lots of fun being here and talking about the seed. I think that should be everything for us tonight, so I hope everyone has a good rest of their evening.